Hi friends, in our time together today, I want to introduce the tune type, the hornpipe. Now, if you're someone that looks at printed music, you'd be excused for looking at a reel and a hornpipe and thinking they were almost twins. What's the difference between them? If you're simply taking a glance at the music. There are other stylistic differences in the music, but at first glance, they look like twins. But as soon as they open their mouth and start moving, you know they are very different. So I'm not going to go into a comparison between the hornpipe and the reel, but I wanted to say that from the start, because if you're relying on printed music, you're going to see that the hornpipe's in 4/4 time. You're going to see that it's got some runs, some triplets, and you're going to say, well, I'll play that like a reel. And you wouldn't be playing in the hornpipe style. Interestingly, hornpipes are one of the tune types that are not transcribed as they are played. When I was learning music years and years and years ago, I was taught in a very classical method. And so if it was on the written page, that is how I would play it, either as a soloist or in the orchestra. And then when I moved into jazz and got into more improv and some big band and swing, I realized that you don't play everything just like it's written. And a hornpipe style, properly transcribed, is not going to have the hornpipe swing to it. You have to know to add that in. Fortunately for us, there are a lot of people that transcribe a hornpipe with kind of that dancey, hoppy swing to it. So a hornpipe has a real sort of skipping, bouncy, hoppy feel. I was listening to some hornpipes while I was on a walk, and I found that the gait of my walk was altered by the tune. And you would have thought I was listening to some fun music, because I really was. If I'd been listening to a reel, I would have been going to the races. But the hornpipe just had me going. Let me show you an example. For example, the tune Off to California, as written, goes. Okay, and that's fine, just like that. Except, if you played it that way, no one would call it a hornpipe. So, played a little more properly, and I'm still working on developing my hornpipe playing skills, but this is a little more how it should be played. And so, if you're playing a hornpipe, it makes you want to move along with the rhythm. So you notice a huge difference between the first way I played Off to California, or the beginning of Off to California, and the second way I played the beginning of Off to California. The first way was following the printed music. The second way I played it was more of a hornpipe style. And so some people say, how am I going to know the difference between a hornpipe and a reel? A hornpipe may have a few more longer runs of just straight up and down notes on the scale, and it has some good triplet sets. But to be honest, if you see a tune like you're on the session website and it says it's a hornpipe, play it like a hornpipe. Now, if you want to know how to play it like a hornpipe, the best advice that you'll get is that I've seen is that the dance, the hornpipe dance, dictates the flow and the feel and the pace of the music as they're kind of, well, pull up YouTube, because you're on YouTube now. Look for hornpipe dances. Then look for hornpipe dance music and listen to, watch people dancing. And you'll see huge differences between some young people who were hornpipe dancing, flying around the room, and an older couple that are kind of doing the rhythm closer to in place. Still, the rhythm will just, the rhythm kind of like creeps into you, that rhythmic swing of the hornpipe. You're going to have a lot of fun playing this tune type. Watch and listen. Listen and watch. Spend time listening and watching hornpipe music. Watch a group playing a hornpipe. Watch a group dancing a hornpipe. Do that until you're like, oh, I feel the rhythm now. When you feel the rhythm, then you could start playing the rhythm. And if you're playing it and your body doesn't feel like it wants to join in, then go back and watch and listen some more. Anyway, the hornpipe tune type. I think it's a delight. I'm going to be introducing some horn type tunes in the coming weeks, and I'm loving learning more of this delightful Irish tune type. Until next time, my friends, this is Scott Shade. Happy whistling.